the sentence that stood out for me the most in the introduction was, I finally knew that the point of all relationships is to help us awaken. And this includes knowing we're only here to heal our own minds. So that's a very, very bold, confident statement that the point of all relationships is to help us awaken. So that for me, and when anybody else, just when I read that, I was like, okay, I want to see how she proves that. So we just love your comment on that, that statement.
Yeah, well, that's a great way to start. I mean, I think the point of that is that it's so easy to get caught in the drama of all the people that are in our lives. And it's so easy to feel like things are happening to us, when the reality is we've created all of these characters in our life to help us awaken, to know who we really, really are. And so it is a journey, and it takes, I think, a lot of inner work and inner bravery to really take full responsibility for whatever's happening in your life, whether it's something that's happening with a person, a place, or a thing, a job, a romantic relationship, because it's hard when shit gets real and things get difficult, to go, I'm creating this, really? Like, I'm creating this? That doesn't make sense. Like, why would I create this for myself? And
this is Ginger again. I was telling somebody about your book. I said, hey, listen, I'm not selling this book, but I'm reading this book. And then we started talking about awakenings. I said, why do you really have to get punched in the gut to have an awakening? Like, is there any other way? So I was trying to create this conversation. And then I know, like right here in your introduction, you talk about how yours was heavily weighted on romantic relationships, but other people need traumas or illness or whatever. But she and I, we didn't get enough time to talk about it, but we were like, what could be the catalyst to change that doesn't always have to be the punch in the gut?
I'll comment on that too, because I think, there's a lot of times when there isn't some massive thing like disease, but there's this long trail of emotions and dis-ease with life that ultimately results in disease. But it can be very slow and very painful. It doesn't have to be like I get hit over the head, but I've always sort of looked at it from my life. I feel like I have like these guardian angels that are out there, and they're like, okay, she's not quite getting this lesson. She's not quite there. All right, she's not going to get it. We're just going to throw that brick on her head and wake her up, whether it was my awakening kiss, or whether it was, the day I walked up the stairs in my workplace and said, I just feel the resistance. And, so there's lots of different ways that spirit is going to wake you up.
To bring in something so painful, like, why would I do that to myself?
Well, and, as we get through the book, it's why would I do this to myself? And why would I keep doing this to myself? like, how many times do I need to learn this lesson? I mean, I think there's a lot of times in the book where people go, wait, she did that again, and as an outsider, even looking at it, be like, yeah, I swear I would not do that. That would not happen to me. I would not go back. I would not, go for more. And sometimes we're just called to learn, really learn the lesson by repeating the lesson. And it does feel harsh. And I think it's a great point again, because it's about really being in that place of self-love and being easier on ourselves as we go through this process, and just having that great trust and that sense of knowing that everyone is here for a reason and everything's happening for a reason. And yes, we have the power to stop the patterns, and that's the whole point of unraveling the mind.
I want to point out this last line that says, if we don't follow our inner knowing, then we are just dreamers, losing out on having the actual life experiences we came here to live. I think that's really fascinating to think about that. Like you said in the beginning, our soul was given a contract of things we need to be doing in this life. And I like the way you focus in on finding what your true soul's journey is. And I think it's really interesting.
Yay.
And exciting.
No. Yeah, it is. It is. And I'm glad that you brought that up too, because I think it's intended to just really put a little bit of a fire under everyone's belly to say, hey, like, I have a lot of ideas, and am I living the life that I want to live? And do I feel like I'm in purpose? I think one of the things that everyone struggles with is, I think at the core of most people, they want to contribute. They want to contribute to humanity. They want to contribute to their family. They want to contribute to community. And I think a lot of times we don't get that opportunity for whatever reason. And there's just a lot of times when we can make a shift that helps us be able to contribute in a way that giving and receiving becomes the same, right? We've all been in that moment where giving something brought us greater joy than actually receiving. And so it's always finding that balance and being in the sweet spot of our soul's contract. So thanks for bringing that one forward.
These souls, we see potential, we see the good in everybody, and trying to, but we end up being in pain and a lot of these things, and then we try to reframe it. So
there's lots of opportunities in this book where we're going to be diving deep into that. So thank you for bringing that up, and please be the soldier to keep that sentiment alive, because we will dive very deep into exactly what you're saying.
Great.
I think this is going to be super fun. I can't wait to get into the details of each chapter.